Greetings and welcome to our Sunday the 14th of May 2023 live stream. Nearly summer, beautiful, getting there. I want to start by saying hello to Skeptic936 and Guidance Code. Thanks for taking the time to comment in the live chat. Always good to see you tuned in. Tonight's main topic, moon bump mania, will be... I've put out a few short videos lately about moon bumps. They have featured pretty heavily, so I'm just going to round off with them. As always, the topic of the actual thumbnail can quite often get sort of not forgotten about, but I do it in the second half of the stream, so I sometimes will go on a completely different subject before that. It was only a week ago, it was the coronation, and we had a whole look, particularly here in the United Kingdom, I guess in plenty of other parts of the world as well. It was massively pushed that these very important people all turned up in one building and watched a king be crowned. My opinion, all Netflix documentary, just like we saw in the pre-show. And yeah, because when the same people taking part in the coronation, for example, are also taking part in moon bump mania, which is the ridiculousness of celebrities to strap one of these objects around their waist, theatrical prosthetics, I guess you'd call them, and they're very well done. They're not easily detected. If you aren't really aware, then you could easily take them as real, but scratch that surface just a tiny bit. A bit of scrutiny and see if it holds up, and that is what we're going to do tonight. On the subject of that, I invite anyone to mention any topics. The only one I saw, as I said, a week ago of the coronation, that has pretty much dominated the headlines. So let's just Guidance Code, it's good to see you back in the live chat. I remember the first time you came, I think I got a bit confused by some of your we were talking about emergency alerts being sent to phones, and I didn't understand some of the comments you were making, but actually looking back on them, with context I got what you're saying, so thank you for giving us another chance. And Skeptic936, whose name you'll see scrolls along the bottom of the screen at the moment. And I will of course give a shout out and thanks midway through the stream, just before our intermission tonight. I did say in the pre-show, the last couple of weeks we haven't done an intermission for one reason or another. We did do an intermission actually, but I played the wrong video, so we'll try and have one tonight. Also, we're going to finish the stream with music tonight, actually. That's something I like to put in. I don't know if you call it uncopyright, copyright free, or music that you own the copyright to. I always invite people to share their work with us, and I'm always happy to play it at the end of the stream, or in the intermission, or in the play-in. Tonight we've got something from the Chris Brown project, who I mentioned on my midweek stream. Right, I'm going to share my display with that note. You love it, Skeptic? I'm glad to hear that. This is what I get. Every time I open a new web page, I get a... let's lose the border. Let's turn off the background audio. On that note, actually, I'm just going to check audio is listenable and everything before we get too into it. Hopefully it sounds alright now I've turned the music off. Right, I'll lose that border. Yes, this is Microsoft Bing's start page, and they must compile a load of news based on previous clicks, and they know that I like looking at they seem to know the stories that they'll get me to click on. Pictures of fake looking babies, pictures of Prince Andrew, a couple of stories about Andrew I noticed on this compiled page. There's one about him refusing to leave a royal lodge, we looked back a couple of weeks ago at some... Yeah, and the other one is about that he did actually attend the coronation, despite being disgraced, and I don't know if they would call him an embarrassment. All the people that, you know, it was being asked, would they attend this coronation? Yeah, they attended. They put their makeup on, they put their... they stood in the right place on cue and were filmed. Or were they? Or was it all done a week before in a studio somewhere? Who knows? Still haven't watched it, still not interested. Another story I came back, the trans movement, transphobia, transgender people, they also get a lot of time in the press. So yeah, Prince Andrew, apparently they're keeping secret the fact that he was at the coronation and took part in a photo shoot. Well, what a waste of time that is. What must he have been doing in these photographs for them to say, look, can we keep these secret? Look at those ears. By the way, I'm all about, if you'd say I'm all about baby bumps and ears, check this one out. I'm sorry, what's going on with these people? I can't help myself. Now that is not normal. It belongs to the world of prosthetics. It belongs to, actually, it belongs to, I don't know. Speaking of the coronation, speaking of Meghan Markle, I've got a video of them doing a walk round that we're going to look at. And it shows them meeting and greeting the public, but there's something very weird about it. I think it was when Meghan had her moon bump on, and I think the first time I saw it, I got mixed up with what I was watching. I thought it was someone saying, yeah, look, this is Meghan wearing a fake baby bump. It wasn't. It was actually a serious video about Meghan. Right, these demonic entities that we see on the screen. What a great way to get... See, this is... These people exist just to walk down steps in front of cameras. That seems to be the whole point of their existence. Take part in what is clearly... Would you rule out the possibility this is all done on a stage, on a set? Because I would not. I mean, does that look like a natural light source? Who knows? Let's make it big screen. As always with these videos, right, what's the picture quality? 720p. As always, you know, terrible image quality, very blurry. Yeah, I mean, the ear doesn't look that terrible in this one. They must have had someone good doing the ear prosthetics for once. But prosthetics they are, believe me. Everything about... Look how tall she is. Look at her towering above these normal-sized people. This princess. I believe, you know, perhaps that's why they would do it in front of a green screen, because people are just gobsmacked when they see them. They're like, my goodness, is this what our royal family actually look like? Right, let me find the video of Harry's walkthrough. It's on my history page somewhere. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, bear with me. I'm just going to hide my screen. Yeah, Skeptic says it's all acting. You have got that correct. Right, just something very strange happened in this video of... it's Harry and Meghan doing their walkabout. Let's see. Is this the right one? Of course there's an advert. Right, I'll bring this... Want people to take your business seriously? Introducing GoDaddy Email and Microsoft 365. Brilliant to see you in the live chat. Thank you for tuning in this evening. With an email address that's as professional as you are. With Microsoft 365, we can play audio. Make collaborating easier and work from anywhere. Take the next step on your business journey with GoDaddy. Forgot to mute it, my apologies. Yeah, I did say I would like to think I was... Right, okay. This was Birkenhead Hamilton Square, no doubt attended by members of the public, you would think. And no doubt, well, I say no doubt, I wasn't there, but people do turn up at these events, as we're going to see. Well, you would think they do. Okay, I'm going to mute that as there's... Yeah, so here people are lining the street. Nice orange buggy there, just, you know the phrase, get their numbers in. Okay, Birkenhead is ready. Is this a real scene of the people of Birkenhead waiting for Meghan and Harry to turn up? I'm going to say yeah, probably is, okay? There probably are these people on this street. Just read Maria's comment. Charles vows to serve and not be served, and then is driven away in a golden carriage while the peasants watched in the pouring rain. Yeah, I saw... I don't know if it was deliberate. I don't know if it was like a Photoshop or if it was an actual Daily Mirror headline. It showed, you know, king crowned, and then the story right beneath it was about how I think costs are going to be, you know, the poor are going to be even poorer, which is a common headline we get to hear about. Yeah, I cannot, you know, you have to feel sorry for the people that queue up for these events. Okay, here we are waiting for them. Are we going to see them come out? Good amount of people in Birkenhead. Okay, I would say this is all still, and now we cut to this scene. And all the crowds, all the hundreds of people that were stood round, gone. Where are they all? Where have these people all suddenly vanished to? It's not even the same time of day. Look how glum, you know, it's a sunny, bright day here. This is where I believe we're hitting green screen territory. See if anything gives that away. Let's see. How long will it take? Oh, do you want to hear what Harry and Meghan are saying? Because there is some dialogue with the crowds, who you do hear, by the way. Sorry if that's a bit loud, actually. Can we turn that down a bit? Oh, what's going on there? Have you ever, with your own camera, filmed a couple of people on the street and had this effect on your camera? Because I can tell you, I haven't. I've never in my life had anyone that I've been filming become transparent and the person behind them be visible. What on earth is going on there? This... I mean, there are other reasons for it, of course. Artifacting is what it's called. Doesn't automatically... What am I doing? Paint I'm looking for. Doesn't automatically mean that it's done in a green screen, but it certainly suggests that manipulation has been taking place. Right. I can't zoom in the same way. I don't know. This is what I mean. This is Harry leaving the set. Can you see that? I hope you can. There we go. This is Harry leaving the set. This is his arms. And here, right through the middle of him, you can see someone. Don't know what that's all about. Okay, we'll save that one for the scrapbook, I think. Oh, what do we call it? Trans Harry. Transparent Harry, of course. There we go. Greetings to Jeff Gashead in the chat. Brilliant to see you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Okay, let's carry on watching. Anything else give this away that it wasn't filmed at the same time as all these crowds were here? Remember, on this quite dark, miserable day, black clouds in the sky, all waiting to see Harry and Meghan. By the time they finally roll out, the weather's beautiful and the screen starts glitching. I suppose you would say if that was just a one-off, if the screen glitching was a one-off, then okay, maybe it happens once in a while. Oh, what's going on there? Instantly happens a second time. Every time Harry crosses in front of this man here, he glitches out for some reason. It's odd. I mean, that isn't the same.
Sorry, I showed a step on their sign. Megan, give us a wave. Oh my goodness. Oh, she's so good. Mission accomplished.
Okay, I don't know how much more I'll inflict on this. I don't know. Judge for yourself. Is this legit? Why is this picture quality so bad? And how did they get such... Well, I don't know. I would have thought at the very least this was someone strategically placed in the crowd to get these... Oh, there we go. Glitching again. As we said, a once in a while occurrence. Here you can kind of see where one scene cuts off and the other one begins. Just where this woman with the blonde hair. It's something to do with Megan's coat. Oh, I don't know. Who knows? And now we change to a different camera. Someone different filming. Are we going to get...
Moved around a bit so it doesn't damage.
Do you hear what they're saying? Ooh.
Oh no.
They're saying move around a bit. Because she's going on about... I think they're on about her giving birth. And they start telling him to like move around a bit. See if it falls out. And listen to what Harry says.
Oh no.
Hang on.
Moved around a bit so it doesn't damage.
I think he said it's already happened, actually. As I say, my hearing's terrible, but maybe you've got better hearing than I have. But they're saying to her, I'll move around a bit, jokingly saying, you know, see if the baby, you can get... And yeah, I'm pretty sure he said it's already happened.
Oh no. We're going to go back to the warm milk. Oh no. Bit so it doesn't damage. Oh no. We're going to go back to the warm milk. Oh really?
I don't know. Who knows? We haven't seen any glitching from this camera angle, so your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, what they're saying is kind of irrelevant. Okay, whether this is green screen or... I will say this police officer back here, both of these police officers seem to be in a... Well, they kind of look very two-dimensional. Who knows? Almost like cardboard cutouts. And then we get to the still pictures. Of course, there is some very famous images of this bump falling out. If you haven't seen them, I'm sure yeah, there's one where she's on some stairs and that bump is round by her legs. She certainly seems to keep needing to support it, to hold it up like it is falling. That's the only reason she would need to keep fondling it like that. Okay, Harry, look, here it seems almost not even to be there. Looks very flat in this image. Whatever. Who knows? Yeah, of course. In my opinion, moon bump all the way. Maria says apparently Markle's father claimed she had a hysterectomy in her early 30s. Wow. See, again, I would find that hard to believe just looking at who and what Megan is. I see these legs, see these stick thin legs. This is someone that has literally had muscle shavings. They've had their muscle cut down to look more feminine. Yeah, they've had a... these people have gone through misery to be in this position, that's all I can say. But yeah, interesting. A lot of rumours about Meghan. Very unpopular woman. Like, despised in many ways. Okay, yeah, we will move on. There's a video I want to watch tonight, actually. We'll watch it now. What I was looking for was prosthetic suits, like fake baby bumps. How good are the... Yeah, what was the exact thing I searched? I believe was... what was it? Something like baby bump suits or something. And I came across this video. Lauren and Airy, 317,000 had subscribers. Had no idea who they were, what their situation was. Never heard of them. Maybe you have, because it turns out this isn't just some random woman that got pregnant with twins. She's a little more high profile than that, you could say. Is this too good to be faked? Oh, hang on, let's mute that. Is this too real? My prediction, my call, is everything we see in this video is a prosthetic moon bump. But watch it through and see and judge for yourself. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that. Perhaps I should have let you be the judge of it yourself, actually. Right, yeah, keep playing. Yeah, all is not as it seems in this video. Not by a long shot, and it's one of many. But do you see it as well? We'll see. Of course, as I said, if you don't necessarily, if you're not really thinking about it when you watch this stuff, if you take... Yeah, apparently this is a woman who was on a program called The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, and she married the winner. They got married, they had a big family, they had miscarriages, they had everything played out on their social media accounts, of course, as always. Very similar to the likes of Peter Andre, Katie Price. Yeah, is it too good? Unfakeable, right? We'll see when we take a closer look. Look how effortlessly, 26 weeks, effortlessly spins round. Models, not a problem. No issues when you're a TV celebrity. You can be as pregnant as you want. You can have twins in your stomach, 28 weeks gone, and you're fine. Just arch your back, pose for the camera, not a problem. Don't even break a sweat. What a joke. Right, at this point in the video, I would hope it's at least stands out that, hang on, this woman has been able to get into the same bikini throughout a... What are we on now? 32 weeks, I think they're about to tell us. So 31 weeks. Not a problem. She hasn't put any weight on around her waist. Her breasts have stayed exactly the same. Just her stomach's now full of twin babies. And still she can prance about, model, get in front of the camera. It's too easy for her. Like, no need to be self-conscious when you can, as effortlessly as this, carry off pregnancy. Yeah, back to that bikini again. About to give birth and still wearing the same bikini she wore in week 1 or whatever it was, week 10. Yeah. Okay, right, we're going to go back. In fact, we could start anywhere. What I'm looking for is constantly apparent throughout this video. You will notice she often wears her hair down over the right shoulder. If we go back to the beginning, you'll see the right shoulder is always being covered. Okay, not in that one. Here we go. Covering the right shoulder. Why might that be? Some sort of joint? Yes, it is. Absolutely. Let's just... I need to zoom in. That's the problem. Right. I'll try and take a close-up of the underarm and have a look at some of these, I don't know what you want to call them, markings. See this here? That is a join of the silicone. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but that is where silicone meets body and seems to be attached to this, yeah, probably to the actual bra, to the bikini. I mean, if you look at it, the bra, whatever it is, appears plastic. It doesn't look like it's made of fabric, or perhaps it's just starting to stretch now. Okay, let's see if this, you might just say, nope, that's just how people's underarms look. Okay, let's see if these, any other unusual creases start showing. Let's see. Yeah, again, covering the shoulder. I think there was probably a big join. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Okay. What's this thing going on here? Do you see it? That is the prosthetic. That is the joint. Even like week 10 or whatever it was, it is someone with a fake suit on, and that is what I was actually looking for. It's constant, it's throughout, even at the very early stages. I bet you'd still see it. Again, she's covering her right shoulder. That is because I'm guessing it comes a bit loose there, maybe. Who knows? And rather than plaster it in makeup and tape and all the stuff they've done here, they probably just let it flex around. I don't know. Looking at the live chat, Maria says there's many videos of her changing moon bump side. Skeptic says, good eye, Bobby. Yeah, it's got to be there. There's, as far as I'm concerned now, when you see these people behaving in such a way, and just by coincidence, as I said, I didn't know who these people were. They've got a pretty big channel, and they do everything in front of the camera, just like a lot of celebrities happen to. The one that passed away of cancer, I mentioned Dame Deborah James, again, lived out her whole illness, even went, you know, even blogged about doing chemotherapy. Just mental. In the same manner, this is the same woman now about to give birth. Let's take a close look at the baby as it comes out. As I say, this... Alright, we're seeing what is being presented as a woman giving birth. They have done a very convincing job. For that note, you know, note of caution. I always set these videos not for kids, because some of the content we're going to look at could be a bit graphic. Some of the subjects are going to be not, you know, not for the squeamish, as it were, but all of them are the same thing. They do it all the same way. What is this white line passing across his forehead? Starts here. Some sort of light being shone on him. Who knows? Look at the hands. Look at those hands. I mean, unless this baby was born deformed without a hand, I'm not sure. I know, he's got it there. What's going on there? Good. Oh, okay. I think he's meant to have a clenched fist. Got it. Does that look like a doll to you? What do you think? Real baby or doll? You be the judge. I know what I think it is, though. Yeah, this is a... Look, again, about going into labour. And what's this person able to do? Most women can barely get off the sofa. What do you think this woman's doing? Frickin' stretching and yoga. Yeah, as if. Come on, get real. Even, what a joke. She's pushing her husband around the corridors. You're about to give birth? What is this? This is the time to be messing around, is it? How casual are they taking this pregnancy? Almost like they couldn't care less. Almost like it doesn't matter. Is it happening in a real hospital? Maybe. This is the United States of America. Perhaps you can just hire out. Oh, here we go. We're going to get some very... I don't know. Is it good robotics? Is it good, you know, animation, as it were? Don't worry. We don't see anything, you know, too over the top. Where is it? We're about to see her give birth. 209. Hang on, we didn't miss anything there, did we? Look at that baby. Did you see the arms? Look at the arms stretched out like a doll. Face barely changes at all. Look at that. No, gotta say, brilliant attempt. Looks incredibly real. This is the kind of thing top media, you know, prosthetic company, electronics, animators, this is what they're capable of. But one of the comments, Russian, look at that baby, come on, get real. We must, you know, hopefully it's not too small, an image. Therefore, so the very same woman who, I mean, you might just say, okay, she just happens to have a very weird baby that, you know, could look a bit like a doll. What a coincidence when that same mother also happened to have what appears to be a prosthetic suit taped to her underarms. I don't know. There are, of course, yeah, I wasn't, as I said, I did a search for theatrical baby bumps, but the results weren't that good. I think actually this is the stuff that I came across when I did that search. I don't know. Yeah, these people, just like, who was that celebrity? Oh, greetings to KG in the chat. It's really good to see you. Thanks a lot. Jeff says nurses dressed in black. Maria, I was in hospital last October and was dismayed to see so many nurses wearing a black uniform. I questioned why. Yeah, that's it's a good question. Perhaps they're people that are there to oh, who knows? Who knows? It's like the last time I was in hospital, well, the second to last time I was in hospital, not for myself, but for other people, visiting other people, I was forcefully told to put on a face covering. I flat out refused. Refused to give my reason for my exemption, and was, you know, they just had to let me get on with it, as it were. I don't think they were too impressed, but they can't expect everyone to muzzle up. Right. Maria says you felt like it was a funeral home. Oh, that's that is very depressing. Right, how much more of this video have we got? Yeah, just more photos of I agree this stuff's convincing and all, but not quite, you know. Yeah, I'm not buying it myself, not for a second. Greetings to Angela Perisky. Brilliant to see you in the chat. Thanks ever so much. Yeah, Lauren and Ashleen, as I said, they were from The Bachelorette, and there happened to be, as I was randomly looking for this person's video, where was it? Hang on, I'm going to hide my screen again for just 1 second while I search for this other video. Yeah, there was another couple with an identical name. This is Lauren and Ari. Who were the other ones? Right, exactly identical video from a channel with an almost identical amount of subscribers doing an identical video. Just coincidence. And also, just like the other couple, they have a YouTube channel named after the couple. I don't know where these people come from. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Yeah, with the previous one, I had the I'd watched it before, and then I saw in the recommended videos this one came up identical, but I've not watched it, so it'll be, we'll see whether we get the same thing. Okay, when was this video from? Let's have a look. One thing you'll notice about these people, just like the last woman, their home seems to be almost perfect. These are meant to be families with kids, and not one thing is out of place. There's not one mark on the wardrobes. It's still got perfectly what it just doesn't look like they're at home, what they're claiming to do. I mean, some people do keep their home absolutely spotless, yeah, of course, but not when. Okay, whatever. Are we seeing it more of the same hair? As I said, I've not watched it myself. There doesn't appear to be the same kind of strap marks that we got on that previous one. This is before, of course, let me see. I'm going to suggest this is a kind of completely different type of suit this person's wearing, where the previous one just had something around. I mean, the chest to me looks too broad to be a woman. Could just say, well, she's just, a larger woman, but I'm not sure. But still manages to do exactly the same thing. At least they've changed their clothes a lot more than the other person did, I suppose. Again, I'm not saying this is real, I'm just saying it is better presented. It's... Well, what's these marks on her arm? Okay, look. Oh, she moved away. Look at these very red marks on the inside of her arms. Not sure what that is. Looks like, well, maybe some kind of rash, who knows. Perhaps it's where they've had to use different type of material because it bends a lot. Okay, it's just not how people behave, in my opinion. I will say, looks a lot more real, but still seems off to me. A pregnant woman happy to jump around, dance around in her underwear, in front of a camera. Yeah, no problem. This is what we all do, isn't it? And here comes the ridiculous belly button. Yeah, you better hide it, because that bit doesn't quite pass the smell test, as it were. What, she's 31 weeks? What does that look like? Have you ever seen that very same thing before? Yeah, of course, this could be, if we go to our thumbnail, it is, hang on, where's our thumbnail? Okay, you can't really see it very well, but this yellow jumper above the word moon and the stomach belongs to Katy Perry. And Katy Perry is someone who I think must have done the most obvious fake pregnancy going. Let's see, can I find it? Well, yeah, the shorts video I put up in the week, I think I put it up on Friday, covers exactly that. So why don't we have a look at that? Okay, I'll bring my display back up. Greetings to Miss Winnie, by the way. Mentions Mr. Markle, never mentioned a hysterectomy. No, I've not actually heard that, but I do not believe Mr. Markle. I mean, they might well have gone in hospital for some surgery of some sort or another, but I haven't ever heard that they had a hysterectomy. Right, you can't put these videos in full screen for some reason. Can I make it a bit larger? Oh, didn't want to do that. Nope, don't want to see that. Okay. Yeah, this was my upload from in the week. Again, this is Rihanna, who we looked at, and here is Katy Perry jumping out of the chair in a very similar way to the woman we just saw on the one doing her pregnancy comparison, and here an identical stomach. And then again, another most ridiculous video put out about Katy Perry supposedly when she was pregnant was this one, where supposedly her partner, what's that guy's name, whoever was the father to Katy Perry's baby, I can't even remember it, is an English guy, and he supposedly gets a very tired Katy Perry. In fact, I want to see it. I want to actually see the original video. Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom, that's it. Pregnant car, let's see. Can we find the original? Katy Perry busts hilarious dance moves. If you watch this video, it is actually quite disturbing. If you take it at face value and think, no, this isn't a woman absolutely taking the mick out of the audience, pretending to be pregnant, pretending to be a tired woman in a car. If you do genuinely believe she's pregnant, then this is bloody weird what we're about to watch. Hang on.
Yo, honey, what day is it? It's Friday, then.
This in the background, you can hear a couple of men forcing this woman to get out of the car while they jeer. She looks absolutely cream crackered. And what is that she's just uncovered? Certainly isn't a human stomach. Is that what we're meant to believe? So bizarre is this video. My thoughts on it were, they're going to do a story where Orlando Bloom was like abusing Katy Perry, like we heard with Johnny Depp. And this was going to be some of the proof. Yeah, he even forced me to get out of the car when I was heavily pregnant and publicly humiliated me and made me walk alongside the car dancing. That was the type of horrible things Orlando Bloom did to me. That hasn't happened yet. I should probably mute it because of the... Or is she just playing along, loving it? Goodness knows. All I can say, this isn't what pregnant women do. Absolutely mental. And when she then keels over in pain, what would be your reaction to that? Unless you had rehearsed that at the end of this performance, you keel over. Why would you laugh when your wife, your pregnant wife, keels over holding her stomach? Listen to what Orlando Bloom does. Oh, hang on, we need audio. See? Absolute hysterics.
Yeah.
Could not have found that more funny, seeing his pregnant wife keel over. Mental. What on earth? This is not real life. Hang on.
It's Friday.
Please don't make me get out the car. Who knows? Absolutely strange. Goodness knows what's going on with our Katy Perry. Having a look at the chat. Angela says, I don't believe Thomas Markle ever said anything about it, the hysterectomy. It would be a very strange take on that story, but... Miss Winnie says Samantha has denied saying anything about hysterectomy. Who is Samantha? Is that the sister? I'm not sure. Huh. Strange. What would be the male version of a hysterectomy? I guess a vasectomy. Maybe that is what Meghan Markle really had, age 29, a vasectomy. Okay, we're not going to watch this horrific video anymore. But yeah, all part of moon bump mania that goes on constantly. We are fast approaching the halfway point of tonight's live stream. So I'm going to take this opportunity to remind anyone who is enjoying what they're watching tonight, if you want to hit the thumbs up button, that is always appreciated. Also subscribing and sharing this video likewise would be very much appreciated. You can also show your support as Linda Mack and Scribbler, Midnight Scribbler, otherwise known as Joker Man, do over on Patreon. And I also have to show my thanks and appreciation to Skeptic936, who's in the live chat tonight, and Nathan Oakley for also supporting. We'll turn off the scrolling text for now. Yeah, thank you very much. I will be playing an intermission video at some point tonight. Well, in the next 10 minutes. I'm just going to set up the second half of the stream, I guess. Angela says, let me see. The boobs always get bigger during pregnancies. Meghan's didn't change, but Kate's did. Okay, I haven't seen that on Kate. All I will say, going back to these other celebrities, where have they gone? I think we've lost them now. The last, that woman we saw in the red bikini, how she didn't change her, her body just remained identical. Who was the other one? I'm sure there was another person where we've seen that. There. Oh, that's my vid. Yes, the hang on. Let me see. Yeah, by the way, was it Maria talked about changing baby bumps? I'm not going to plagiarise this guy's video completely, but I did come across one called Meghan's Moon Bump Collection, which maybe you might find interesting. I'm going to put a link to it in the live chat. It's someone else calling out Meghan for wearing a moon bump. Let me me see. We'll just play it for 1 second. Greetings to Joker Man, just seeing you in the chat. Oh, hang on. I will of course put any links to any YouTube videos in the description of tonight's video. Right, let me mute this person. Yeah, speaking of Megan's changing bumps, there are some... Hang on. This person's called Queen Gertie, the Live Lounge, have made some good videos on it. So I would certainly recommend checking out their work. This mentions... I believe these images are like on the same day. One day she's got the bump, the next day she hasn't. I think I even saw something by the Sun newspaper where they showed how... the Scum newspaper, I should say, because they weren't for 1 second calling out Megan as faking her pregnancy. They were just claiming that she's trying to make her bump look bigger, and that she keeps pulling her coat open to deliberately show it. Same day, just one flight apart. Who still thinks she is truly pregnant? Right. Greetings to Crone in the live chat, and also want to see Angela said, Bobby, did you see the video of Megan where she pets the dog as she stands up, her belly inflates? Actually, yes, I think we have come across that one. I'm not sure whether it might even show in this compilation. Oh, hang on. Going back to that video, the walk around where they went round town and were filmed glitching out over and over. This one has the shot of where the baby appeared, you know, in that red jacket, where it appears to fall down to her knees. I suspect I've shown it on videos beforehand. January the 10th, January the 14th, completely different stomach sizes. Yeah. Yeah, Meghan Markle petting a dog. Let's have a look. Pregnant Meghan pets dog. What the hell is that popping noise as Meghan Markle stands up? Is this the same one? Why are they going on about popping noises? Hang on, does it not even show her bending down? I assume this is the right one. We need audio. Okay, the bump obviously very high, almost like completely under her breasts in that shot. Actually, it does seem to re-inflate, doesn't it? Crazy. I think, yeah, it does seem to re-inflate as she... Oh, I've just been insulted in the chat. Adam Puspagnan, I think he's calling me an idiot, maybe, but never mind, I can live with that. Right, Angela says the Farkle family was Wars channel. What is that popping sound? Yeah, somewhat weird, and it seems to tie in with the bumps springing back up again. Weird stuff. Right, we're going to go to an intermission in a minute. Let's see. What are we doing when we come back? We will have about 30 minutes left of the live stream. Okay, what's the video? Yeah, I'm just going to take, I think, about 7 or 8 minutes just to grab myself a drink, refresh myself so I can keep streaming. I do appreciate your patience and would like to thank So far, Angela, Maria, Anden, KG, Chrome, Jokerman, Miss Winnie, Jeff Gashead, Maria Ennender, Skeptic936, KG, if I've not already mentioned you. And earlier on, I saw DJ Carrera in the live chat, so thank you to everyone who's taken the time to comment. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this video of mine. Where did it come from? It is the Lucy Letby trial. Is the Lucy Letby trial a psyop? This is my video from October 2022. I adapted it from a live stream I did, one of the Bobby Z shows, I think it was. Okay, it goes on for 7.5 minutes. I do hope you can stick with us and with us after the intermission. If not, I do understand it's getting late here in the UK, 11. It's sort of the time where I start to lose the ability to host a productive live stream, and if I don't close down, I will start making ridiculous mistakes. So yeah, I'm just gonna I'll be with you for another 30 minutes. I do hope you can come back for that. Okay, enjoy this video from October 2022, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Susan says, I missed the request, just curious. Lucy Letby, nurse in Chester who killed... haven't heard of that one, Susan. Apologies for missing that one. We'll certainly have a look at that tonight. Interesting how they get their initials in. They love their numbers. First thing I would say about that image is how crap it looks. Photoshop special, perhaps. They've got the weird ears, weird ear alert. We'll go beyond just looking at images. How many people have an earlobe like this? But not many, surely. Those teeth also don't look particularly real. This story must have completely passed me by, but someone's got a net worth for them and written a biography. What a horrible story it is. Oh, this is a pretty new story. Every single news outlet is covering it. First thing I see when I look at that image is how unrealistic it looks. The jury hears from medical expert at trial of nurses accused of babies. Do they not generally, if they're prosecuting someone, remember Baby P, and they wouldn't even mention the name of the baby? Did they mention the suspects at the time? I'm pretty sure they didn't. They tried to protect the identities because they were going to trial, maybe for a separate story. This is the ear, Weird Ear Brigade. This won't be the first time you'll see a very strange looking ear tonight. Susan says, does not look female to me. Is it a psyop? It doesn't actually look particularly human to me, I will be honest. When you see pictures like that, the jury in the trial of a nurse accused of murdering 7 babies and trying to kill 10 more have heard from an independent medical expert. While they get 32 in, of course, Lucy Letby, 32, is charged with a murder and attempted murder of babies at a neonatal ward, Countess of Chester Hospital, in 15 and 16. She denies 22 charges. Susan, it speaks for itself in my book. The numbers give it away. The crap images give it away. Dr. Dewey Evans, the independent medical expert, took the jury through explanations of neonatal care and medical terms during the 5th day of the trial. Just because the stories say a psyop doesn't mean that they don't take it to court as if it were real. They still pay all the solicitors. They still make sure they get their cut. On Friday, jurors initially received a tutorial on how to use iPads on which much of the evidence will be loaded digitally in place of paper files. Brilliant. They don't even need physical evidence anymore. They're doing it on iPads. What are we looking at? Digitally loaded evidence. They could plant that. They can make it. Send someone on Photoshop and just ask them to design whatever piece of evidence they want. Is this photo itself proof that this nurse is a legitimate person? Are there people out there that have ever worked with this person? Who knows? Not much definition. Maybe it's just the image quality, but it looks like the chin is merged with the neck. That picture's one for the scrapbook. I think it will probably come up again at some point. The 8 women and 4 men of the jury were shown a walkthrough video. Dr. Evans, the first witness called in the trial. Why didn't they just load his voice up on the iPad? Who needs physical witnesses anymore? Just do it all on the iPad, which is expected to last up to 6 months. Wow. That's a whopper. Think of the fees off the state, of course. Said he began working in paediatrics 40 years ago and had worked neonatal units in Swansea, Cardiff, Liverpool. He told the jury about the evolution of such care to the present day, a process he described as not of reading books, very much hands-on. Dr. Evans added, in the 70s, babies who were small and ill died. There was very little care available. Why would they release this to the public? I am evil, I did this. Oh my goodness. They've got a handwritten confession. How perfect. Letby wrote down phrases on a post-it note, included, I killed them on purpose because I'm not good enough to care for them, and I did this. Looks pretty conclusive if you ask me. Sorry, Letby. I think you're stuffed, love. Yeah, this is rubbish from start to finish. Think of a post-it note, how tiny her handwriting must be in order to write all this down. I feel very alone. What does the future hold? Crap. But yeah, interesting one. Coincidentally, finding the terrorist's passport among the wreckage, isn't that just perfect? They found a post-it note, all digitally uploaded, of course. No actual physical post-it note. They're all looking at it on iPad. Dr. Evans also gave explanation of medical terms which have been heard during the start of the trial. And all these experts have had to come up with content to give the jury for 6 months. He also commented on a series of short videos demonstrated, I thought it was going to be short videos of Laura Letby telling her followers on Facebook how much she hated babies. He's directing them to YouTube videos as part of his evidence. Great. His evidence to the trial came after the defence told the court that Letby cared deeply for those she had looked after. Lawyer Ben Myers, KC, said she trained hard to be a nurse and what she wanted was to care for babies she looked after. The defence says she is not guilty of causing intentional harm to any baby or killing any baby. She loves her job, cares deeply, and also for the families. She had a fulfilling life, friends, and a life outside work. Wide shoulders, I will point that out. Is there any footage of this person talking? I doubt it. Manchester Crown Court had earlier heard that Letby had written I am evil on a post-it note. How fortunate. This newspaper article wouldn't report that unless they were 100% sure it was true, right? We have, of course, seen a screenshot of it. Anyone with an ounce of human understanding would be able to see that the notes were the anguished outpouring of a young woman in fear and despair when she realised the enormity of what is being said about her. Who owns the copyright on all these images? What, do you think they came off her Facebook page? The images are always owned by people that provide news stories. Okay, this image was provided by the Independent, so how they got it, who knows? Who owns the copyright on that? PA. Yeah, their name comes up a lot. PA. That is an organisation where, let's say, the Daily Mirror will have a contract with them, among other ones, for them to supply them news to put in their rag or to put on their website. And who owns the copyright on the last image of her? The Independent. How are they providing all these images? Perhaps they bought them. Crazy that if that is a genuine case going on at the moment, insane that they would be sharing all that information. Susan, you thought it was off. I agree, something very off about that. However, always keep an open mind. You can't auto-hoax, as it were. Mudlark, I totally agree with you when you say you don't believe anything in the mainstream anymore. To say the court case is real, let's say there is actually a court case going on in Manchester at the moment. Well, I'm pretty sure they held a court case for Gorgonzola, the guy who did attack in Burke Street, Australia. His court case happened. I mean, court cases go on, which are linked with stories that are complete and utter crap. So let's not be fooled. I'm guessing the official conspiracy theory, as in the one provided, supplied just like the images of Lucy, the idea that she might be getting blamed for someone else's. There's all sorts of alternative scenarios you could come up with for that one, but unfortunately I think it's all off the scriptwriter's pad. This is going to go on for 6 months. It isn't going away. Susan, thank you ever so much for sharing that. Okay, that was the intermission video. Let me turn off the text. I want to say hello to Mudlark digging up the Thames, who I just saw in the live chat. I think I did, unless I was looking at an old one. Well, perhaps I got confused by the video playing on the screen. My apologies, sorry. I think I did. did get confused there. What an idiot. Maria says, I watched a video outlining the trial of LL, and several times they referred to nursing notes written retrospectively. Obviously, retrospectively means after the event, so, or even, you know, after time. Yeah, I know what you mean. Nursing notes, I guess, are genuinely written on the day. I was curious. I did say in that video we would, you know, Lucy Letby wasn't going away. We would keep watching and seeing what the outcome of it was. I'm not sure what that is now, because the case went on for 6 months. October 22, that was more than 6 months ago. So let's have a look if the story has progressed anywhere. I'm also looking at Maria's comment about Tom Bower in his book Revenge. Actually states Meghan and Harry presented a shower to the late Queen and no mention of a baby. Yeah, there is black and white footage of the Queen with holding Archie, as it were. I assume it was Archie we're referring to. Well, that's another story I might look at. Rebecca Vardy reveals the trauma of growing up in a Jehovah's Witness cult. First, we'll have a look at Lucy Letby. Hang on. Yeah, I've also got this story about I don't know, something happening in Starbucks with some horrific trans, but we'll get back to that. Let's see, we might not cover that one. Lucy Letby. A lot of stories about Prince Andrew tonight for some reason. Knives out for Andrew as King demands he leaves Windsor home. Oh, of course, that's the same story. Right, Lucy Letby, let's not get sidetracked. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, so they are still reporting about the case. Lucy Letby, 33, get their numbers in, of course, 12 days ago. 9 days ago, there was an unexpected shock, as the nurse tells jury. So I guess it's still going on. Let's have a look. What's the latest story about that? Lucy Letby, 33, is accused of murdering 7 babies. Again, horrible subject. And once again, look at the ears. Come on. Who are they trying to kid here? You want us to believe this is a human being? My goodness. Not buying it. But anyway, if you can get past a weird set of ears, perhaps some people do just have weird sets of ears and very pixelated mouths and features. Key point, swipe data appears to show Letby arriving at hospital after mother said she saw her. She wasn't meant to be in work the night the victim died. I'm guarantee they will make a film about this, I bet. Investigation. Okay, oh, it's just a blow-by-blow outcome. Let's see if that term shows up. What are we looking for? Retrospectively. Letby says it would have been 10 PM, aligning with a retrospective note she had made of the event. Okay, it only comes up once in that one, but okay, it's still going on by the sounds of it. According to this breakdown by Sky News, who are obviously covering every second of it. We haven't got anywhere yet. Court adjourned until next week. And that's where it ended. Okay, still going on the trial. Maria says cover up for the unexplained excess deaths. Maybe. I really hope that isn't happening in babies as well. I mean, you don't want anyone. Excessive death for whatever reason's never nice, but yeah, that's really sad. You know, that is extremely sad. apparently Rebecca Vardy. Now, does anything look odd about Rebecca Vardy? Is she one of these people that puts her pregnancy stomach on Instagram? If you don't know who Rebecca Vardy is, there was a football player. He played for England. Jamie Vardy, I think he's called. And this is his supposed wife, who is telling us about growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, where there were no birthdays or Christmases. Christmas, of course, a time to... It is nothing to do with the birth of the Messiah. I mean, okay, there's some hymns sung about shepherds and away in a manger, crib for a bed, but December 25th, actually, if you do a simple search for when was Nimrod's birthday, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's the first answer on Bing, December 25th, Nimrod. If you're not familiar with him, he was a hunter of Jehovah's people, sorry. That's a weird coincidence. So not celebrating Christmas is not, if you Jehovah's Witnesses, now I did a Bible study with them years ago, back in my 20s, and I gotta say, they do seem like people dedicated to their translation of the Bible. Of course, they're an organised religion, and they have their issues, but yeah, this is a kind of curious attack. There's also been loads of news stories about, well, not loads, there was one or two news stories about kids being abused in which made, there was this kind of villainous woman that was, I don't know, I think she adopted some kids and was horrible to them, and that was obviously front page of the Sun newspaper. Yeah, so let's have a look about this person who, yeah, now the governing of the organisation, okay, I've got no, they are not, I don't agree with them and believe they don't teach the truth, but that's something for another time. She calls it a cult. Let's see. She, of course, Vardy, they've made a TV documentary about the supposed feud between her and another footballer's wife, Wayne Rooney's wife. Yeah, let's have a look. You've got to see Rebecca Vardy. Straight out of the building where, oh, what was that? Very famous transgender Hollywood actor. Is that meant to be her? Because she looks kind of identical to... Who's the other one? Hang on, what's her name? Helen Flanagan. Helen Flan... Good. I never noticed the actual similarity between these two before. I mean, that's who... Oh, I didn't want to do that. So let me check we're still lined up okay. Yep, seems alright. I don't know, you'd have to judge that one for yourself. They look... Right, and what's the betting? This person's got an Instagram account. Look at those shoulders. Some incredibly wide shoulders there on this woman. I bet she has an Instagram account, and I bet she showed herself being pregnant. Let's see. Straight out the moon bump mania, this person is, of course. does it all, no problem. She's heavily pregnant. She still appears on the front page of OK magazine. Yeah, what a joke. Not a chance. Yeah, you're looking at classic, typical, fake, made-up people. I wouldn't be surprised if she did an exercise video. Oh, that was another thing. That's another one of the ridiculous, insulting thing these people do. They bring out like fitness videos about how I lost my baby weight. Well, how you lost your baby weight was that it was all a prosthetic moon bump from the very beginning. I wouldn't be... Yeah, of course. They put all their intimate... Oh, this is so disgraceful. I hate this. This is exactly the same rubbish you see on all these fake celebrity families. Nothing remotely real. This is the footballer husband. Yeah, he takes part in a fixed staged event of football matches with staged outcomes. Yeah, I want to see her doing her moon bump images, but she's obviously... Okay. All mixing product placement deals with intimate family photos. Yeah, nothing strange there. What do you think? Baby much? Happy second birthday, little princess. It's very reminiscent of a... what they call them, reborn dolls. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this sleeping baby hair, I don't know how well you can see that. Looks very, very similar to this in my book. Are we supposed to believe they got their baby just randomly fell asleep on a freaking bucket? A bucket full of cotton wool, and they balance this bucket on a chair? Wow. Yeah, you really must care about the safety of your baby if you... I mean, I don't even know what's going on here. Absolutely weird. No way this is on the level in my book. I wouldn't be surprised if she did horse racing whilst on rid a horse while she was 9 months pregnant. There we go, of course, they always show it. What's that, 1 day old baby, do you think? Resting its head on its hands? Yeah, as if. Always with the headdresses as well. As I said, the reborn dolls, they very frequently put headdresses on them for some reason. Not sure why. Where were we? Here's another one. It's yeah, straight off of Instagram, I'm afraid. Sorry, straight off of Amazon, sorry. For Rebecca Vardy, who calls Jehovah's Witnesses a cult. Right, looks like Maria's saying good night. So thanks for tuning in, Maria. We are actually just going to go for another 10 minutes and we will be wrapping up this stream. Maria did mention increase in neonatal deaths following... yeah, that doesn't surprise me, unfortunately, Maria. Jokerman mentions the Tower of Babel, which was built by Nimrod. Yeah, some of the writings in Genesis. I do believe some of the accounts of Nimrod are probably covered in some of the other books. Maria says battery is running out, so I'll bid you a blessed night. Gotcha. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, Maria. It really is appreciated. Always good to see you. Miss Winnie says Markle wore an inflatable. She pressed a button to inflate upon arrival. And prior to her departure, she pressed it to deflate. Do you know what, Winnie? I would not at all doubt that those sorts of things exist. And that is exactly how it looked when she got up and that noise, you know, that popping noise in that video. So yeah, absolutely moon bump. You know, one of the one of the entries of Moon Bump Mania. Does Megan win it? I'm not sure. Yep. By the way, Maria, we are doing another stream. I know your battery's probably already packed in on you, but if you are still, midweek stream will be a open lines. If you or anyone else wants to join the stream and say hello, it would be good to, you know, take our interactions that little bit beyond the live chat. Okay, and what's the betting? Also, just one last thing we'll look at. Not only Rebecca Vardy, but the other one, Colleen Rooney. I bet they're on Instagram showing off their identical, straight off of Amazon, sleeping babies. Yeah, of course, Colleen Rooney just hangs around with this clown. What a freak show this guy is. But anyway, I think he fits well in with the members of Moon Bump Mania. It won't be long, we'll see it. You know, you always see it on these celebrity pregnancies. Are they doing an ill baby story? I don't know who this is. Our very special angel Rosie, the best sister. Again, showing every sick child you see must have a tube up its nose. I mean, that does look like an unwell child, I agree, but okay. And here we go. Exactly like the other Vardy family did. They all posed for Christmas pictures in their straight off the set. This is beyond rubbish as far as I'm concerned. Do these people have no imagination in that they all have to do exactly the same thing as each other? Does make me wonder. Right, come on, where's your moon bump pictures or your newborn baby pictures of a 2-day-old baby kicking a football around? I'm sure they'll show up sooner or later. Quite how far, you know, quite how in-depth the fakery goes with these people. You know, on some level, Wayne Rooney and Colleen Rooney and their family must exist, right? Surely it's not all just done for the cameras, is it? They're not showing off many baby pictures. As in, you know, the sort that look like they've come straight off of a Reborn doll advert. Okay, I can't look too much further at these. Let's see, I'll tell you what we'll do. Colleen Rooney pregnant. She denies she's pregnant again. Yeah, I would have thought she does. If you look at... Is she running whilst pregnant? Yeah, that's very believable. I will say, you know, they haven't just left her looking exactly the same as she, you know, just got a big stomach. Oh, there we go. Of course, it was always going to happen. I don't know. That looks just like someone with one of these typical bumps. Is it just a lookalike, a stand-in that stands in for half of these celebrities? Of course, not really pregnant. See, I don't know, judge for yourself. This person, okay, looks more legitimately pregnant than this one. Almost looks like different people altogether. Who knows? You would have to be the judge. But I know I nowadays cannot see a celebrity pregnancy and not say, right, how long until we see all the telltale signs. Right, with that, we are going to start wrapping up for the evening. Yeah, let me just take this opportunity to thank, let's see, Maria Ellender, Jeff Gashead, KG, Jokerman, Skeptic 936, Miss Winnie, Angela Porisky, Adnan Paspandan, Kron, both of whom spoke in a foreign language. I think Kron was telling me to get a lobotomy. Yeah, good one, mate. Do you know what? If I believed that rubbish, if I believed Katy Perry's fake pregnancy bump was real, I would probably need a lobotomy, because I would have to be absolutely freaking mad to buy that crap. Same as Meghan the Markle. So, yeah, trust me. Oh, Jeff mentions phlebotomist. Right, anyone else in the chat who I haven't mentioned? I saw DJ Carrera in earlier, so thank you. By the way, Skeptic936, if you're still with us, you have attained probably the highlight of your life, the high point of your year, certainly. You are now a moderator and can share links. You are also one of the people I shout out on a weekly basis as thank you for supporting this channel. Skeptic's got to run. Yeah, we're finishing in a minute, mate. So thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm going to have to run also in a minute. Yeah, thanks to Skeptic936, of course, and Nathan Oakley for supporting this channel. Likewise to Linda Mack and Midnight Scribbler, otherwise known as Jokerman, who support me over on Patreon. A link to which, of course, is in tonight's description. Yeah, I would also invite anyone who wants to show their appreciation for tonight's video. If you want to hit the thumbs up button before you leave, that's always appreciated. Subscribing and sharing if you're not already. And I will be back on, certainly be back on Thursday, if not before. I do have a Tuesday stream that I do when I can. It's only a 30-minute stream, so I will certainly try and do it. But if I'm not back on Tuesday, then I'll definitely be back Thursday. Thursdays and Sundays, you know, every week I do these live streams, unless I'm away, of course. But yeah, I'm not going to be away this Thursday, so I will be streaming the Bobsy Hour. I will try my best to do the Bobby Z show. But yeah, if anything, that will just be to tell you about the Bobsy Hour, where we will be doing an open lines, and I will be inviting people to come on and say hello. Okay, I will see you Thursday, if not before. I will be leaving you with some music, actually, from the Chris Brown project. I'll leave a link to this guy's YouTube channel in the comment section, in the description of tonight's video. Where is that? The track is called Take a Little Time and was recommended to me by Jokerman himself. He's got a wonderful channel. Yeah, and I recommend you checking these guys out. Okay, we are over and out for tonight. Thanks everyone for your time, and as always, thanks for watching. Let's make that a bit smaller. Okay, see you again back Thursday, if not before. Have a great week. Take care. Good night.
Take a little time, sit back, think of all the times you were at best, yeah. get things off your chest. Lay your head to your hands, yeah, I hope one day the world will understand as I lay my head to my hands, yeah, I know one day the world will understand. Take a little time, sit back, think of all the times you were at best, yeah. Gotta keep on moving, gotta keep on fighting to get things off your chest. Still having dreams, it's you and me, sitting on the mountain top. Lay your head to your hands, yeah, I hope one day the world will understand as I lay my head to my hands, yeah, I know one day the world will understand. Still having dreams, it's you and me, sitting on the mountain top. And I will wake up and realize I face reality. Another dream here stops. And I will wake up and realize I face reality. Another dream here stops. And I will wake up and realize I face reality. Another dream here stops.